All right, Tim Pool has finally snapped by Decoy Voice.
If
All right,
liberals were afraid to go on Timcast before, they definitely won't
All right, here we go.
go on now.
The left would then lie about what he did. And when we come out and say, but he didn't do that, they'd say, stop defending Trump. All of these hoaxes, the very fine people hoax.
I mean, I remember the line. Yeah, they're
never called
Is that freaking Adam ruins everything?
these fine people.
He said there were very fine people on both sides.
Except the neo-Nazis.
Dude, he looks so sad. He looks so sad now. Oh my gosh. Like, look, he looks like a fucking mess. Look at him. He's like depressed. Like the Adam. He's like a
nationalists who should be condemned totally.
He said that.
Look at him.
Holy shit. Brother,
I don't live in your bubble, man.
You don't live in the news, dude. Come the on. That's what's fucked
I
up.
didn't say I think he did. I just don't know what you're talking about because I don't
Joe
I don't
Biden.
listen to your.
Even Snopes was like, guys,
I don't know why you're shouting at me. I was just asking you to explain. He said there were very fine people on both sides.
Except the neo-Nazis and white.
It's like the Dave Chappelle skit with what's his name, Rick James, and he's like I would never go on somebody's like couch and just ruin it like that. Like, why would I do that? Yeah, I remember fucking up his couch.
Who should be condemned totally.
He said
Gotcha,
that.
bitch.
Holy shit.
It's insane to sit there with this smug self-assuredness while simultaneously being oblivious to reality and calling it Tim Pool's bubble, which goes to show they don't want the truth, they just want whatever reinforces their pre-existing worldview. And as I'll show you shortly, Adam already knew this appearance was going to go badly, he just had a very specific gotcha moment he wanted to get, but even that backfired. As right off the bat, he expected to get clipped.
I know. I'm looking forward to Tim Pool destroys woke comedian. It's fine. You can start the clip at this point if you're doing your response videos.
Which Tim acknowledges, so credit to Conover.
Donald Trump called neo-Nazis very fine people, and then we just pull up the article and say, hey, it didn't happen. They end up with a viral clip where it's like they were wrong about something, and that ends up being the principal issue for why I think liberals don't come on this show.
Well, it's also you tape in West Virginia in studio. It's like hard to.
I used to watch the show actually, like him, and I actually like this might be kind of crazy, but like I used to watch a lot of these shows, like those like late night like shows, John Oliver, Daily Show. Like I've seen all of these.
You fly everybody out.
Yeah, but it's
sometimes first class too.
You flew me out first class. It was really nice.
And as somebody that has been on Timcast and the Cast Castle twice, I don't ever recall being flown out first class. But I get it. Even on the internet, I'm a relative nobody, especially compared to Tim's other guests like Joe Rogan, Donald.
Thanks so much for the follow. Rom Baton Melzen, thank you for the prime as well. Thank you, welcome.
Trump, and even Kanye. So I'm just appreciative for the opportunity to go on there, as everybody top to bottom in his organization was super nice to me. So maybe that's why I'm bothered by somebody going on his show with a specific purpose to spread a fake narrative.
Because it's very hard to parse out like who's connected to who. So when you guys were being paid by the Russian government, you didn't know.
Real quick, I just want to highlight the framing of that question, as I worked in investigations for years, and it's a common and deliberate tactic to ask a question as, we're past your admission, even before they've admitted anything, we're already laying a baseline.
This is literally like, this is literal middle school tactics. This is literally like, so does your mom know you're gay? Does she? Does your mom know that you're gay?
Of guilt. When was the first time you committed this crime? Who taught you how to embezzle money? When did you realize you were being paid by the Russians? Now watch as Adam hears various reasons as to why the case went nowhere, but nothing changes his smug self-assuredness, even though he doesn't even know why he's right.
We never got paid by the Russian government.
But the Russian government paid Tenet Media and they paid you.
They didn't.
They didn't pay you. I wanted
never
to
got
know.
paid by the Russian government.
Which was being paid by the Russian government.
That's not true.
Okay, I think it probably was, but
I mean, if you want it to be true, you can say it is, but there's no evidence anything actually happened.
do you think Russia should have invaded Ukraine? You think that was good? No, that's fine. I mean, like, take the money. I was just like,
this guy got so fucked. That's actually unreal. Like. Well. So do you think that Russia should have invaded Ukraine? Nope. Just
You know, I wish I could get a foreign government to sponsor my show. Then I could.
I don't, and I never did.
If you say it enough times, it becomes real.
Never
right,
did.
guys?
So, would you concede the paid by the Russian government thing is unproven?
If you think about it, it's like all of their spells have upkeep. They have to keep saying it over and over again to like maintain its reality. It's like any statement that comes from them has upkeep.
What evidence is there?
Yeah, I mean, I was just I read all the articles when it came out. I didn't follow the case, so I guess I would look into this.
This just highlights why the left won't go on shows like Timcast or even Joe Rogan, as their arguments are always bumper sticker thin in both length and depth, as all they really have is NPC talking points. If this, then that. Nothing beyond those few sentences they've been pre-programmed to parrot. Then that. Nothing beyond those few sentences they've been pre-programmed to parrot. And if they're ever challenged to expand upon it, they almost short-circuit like a cat with ham on its face.
No, but I just did shows in the UK and Amsterdam, and I made fun of UK politics, made fun of American politics.
You wouldn't dare make fun of Islam, though. Go to the UK and mock Islam. Do it.
Well, I don't have any jokes about Islam.
Why won't you go to the UK?
What?
Why won't you go to the UK and make jokes about Islam?
I don't think it's very funny. I don't have any jokes about it. I'm so confused.
Are there jokes that can be made about Islam? Yes or no?
Wait, I don't want to. I don't want to go to the
scared?
rabbit.
Oh no! You're terrified.
Oh, fucking checkmate.
You're a
bro.
I'll bet you $1,000 you will not go to the UK and make a joke about any of that stuff. Because you will not go to a foreign country and in violation of their laws, speak out against what they've said not to speak out against. Do it. I dare you. $10,000.
Man, this
dang, you give him $10,000.
We got here faster than I thought we would in this conversation. Where you're shouting at me about something I don't understand. I don't really understand how you would think it's incumbent upon me.
Do you think anybody watching this right now thinks you are confused by the notion that in the UK you go to jail for mocking Islam?
I don't understand how we got.
As I could pull up countless times that he was in this furrowed-browed confusion. And that's the problem when your mentality isn't based on morals or rationale, but talking points. Even when given evidence as to why they're wrong, they can't course correct alongside the truth because they've been brainwashed to reject any reality that's incompatible with their bumper sticker mindset. And what's worse is when their liberal leaders crumble with even a little bit of pushback.
We should have a coherent culture. Everyone should be a part of the same culture. We should have assimilation.
You know what's so weird about this? I saw some of this whatever it's called, debate show on Jubilee. And the crazy thing is like this was a case of people observing the same event, but also not. Like they saw completely different things from this event. So like there were a lot of people on the left saying like, oh, fucking owned, like destroyed. And then like the people on the right were like, oh, fucking owned, destroyed. It was like so weird.
Which, do you get to choose what the culture is?
We already have a dominant culture.
Well, I think what you're expressing, though, is really what the Trump movement at its heart is about. And I think that's problematic.
I disagree. I don't think Trump's like anywhere close to being a Christian nationalist. That's ridiculous. Like Trump's basically a Democrat from like 15 years ago.
Does the left question their programming? No, they just run back to Reddit for more NPC talking points to parrot. And that's why modern day liberalism is losing its hold on America's youth, as loud lies lose to quiet truths. And the best example is how Hassan is crashing out over Aslan, as nobody cares about this competitive emotional fragility.
Can you just shut the f*** up, please? Can all of you just collectively shut your stupid f***ing woke mouths up?
As at any given moment, Asmongold is increasing the gap between the two.
Did he say woke? What?
With him, and even people from other countries are noticing. It's not just streamers too.
Asmongold is killing it right now because you might not want to hear this if you're a liberal, you might not want to hear this, but Asmongold, the stuff that he says is kind of like the majority, basically. That's what like most people think is the shit that like Asmongold says is like so like incredibly moderate. Like it's not even like that. It's not even that conservative, honestly. Like I don't even think Asmongold is a conservative, to be honest. He's like so freaking middle of the road, and like so his takes are so basic. Like, I don't mean basic like in a bad way. What I mean is that a lot of people believe the same thing. They understand it, and that's what they think. So, like, basically, they are the majority, and that drives people fucking crazy, right? Tazuto said he has a really bad vibe about him. I don't really care about vibes, to be honest. But yeah, Asmongold is like, the reason like Asmongold is so popular is because a lot of people agree with him. That's why. There's so many people that agree with his takes on stuff and like the way that he talks about about situations. And that's why he's so popular. And I know that's like really hard to parse. I think that's really hard to parse for a lot of people like that are like super liberal, because for the longest time, and I don't even think it's real, to be honest, but for the longest time, they had the entire wave of culture behind them, right? The winds of culture were behind a lot of the liberals. It wasn't really. It was like more like a bunch of people with like fucking fans. It was a bunch of people with fans like kind of blowing it along. It wasn't like the actual wind, right? And they were so used to having like that wind in their sails that now that they find out that like that wind was fake and it wasn't really that many people, and that the common person actually agrees with like someone like Asmongold, who they deem to be far right, it blows up their brains basically.
But even presidential candidates show us how the public will consume 3 hours of dry conversation over 8 minutes of curated bumper sticker slogans that is loudly echoed in the voting booths. So even though Adam getting blasted on Timcast seems like a minor moment on the internet, we're actually witnessing the slow motion collapse of the left, as absolutely zero conservatives saw that and thought, Adam made a lot of good points furrowing his brow and ignoring the facts. I think I might actually be a Democrat. But on the other side, there will be a small percentage of Adam's base that saw him get proven objectively wrong, replying, well, I don't live in your bubble. And unless they also strive to look that stupid.
Jupiter said progressives had natural organic voices, but venture capitalists bankrolled their massive expansion, so now they're going out of business. So like what you're saying is like they're basically like an economic bubble, but it's like a thought bubble.
They'll start to leave the left. Why doom scroll on social media all day when you have my concise, light-order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality? So make sure you subscribe to Decoy Voice.
That is one thing I really like about Decoy Voice's videos, and that they're just like to the point and they're fast.
Not a big fan of the government. 30 on 30.